Okay, this will be video number 3, replacing the blower motor in my 2011 Ford Ranger. It's probably very similar to many Ford Rangers going back to '04, maybe back to late 90s. These trucks didn't change very much over the last about a decade and a half that they made them. Okay, this is the old fan. In the last video I showed how I had this plugged into the wiring harness and I moved it around. The fan inside the truck, the selector was set on position 4, full blast. And as I moved this around right here, about here it would move slow. As I turned it like here, it'd go really fast, and it moved around. And I caution, if you do that, what I did, be careful, because I cut my finger here doing that. It was really, it kind of cut into the house. When I did that, it started cutting into the plastic housing there a little bit. I don't think that'll affect much of anything though. Not worried about that. But okay, for this one, here's the old motor and the fan. Here's the new motor and the fan. I got together as a unit from Napa Auto Parts. I did that because it's just such a pain to try to get this old cage off the old motor. So I bought all that from Napa for about the same price that if I bought from O'Reilly's. If I bought that and that in 2 different boxes, is the same price as this whole thing from Napa. Just less work to do. Okay, now I have to, okay, this little seal, I really should swap this seal over. Can't remember if I did that. Can't remember if I did that when I did my, I have 2 other Rangers. This one's a 2011, I get a 2009, I get a 2004. I don't remember if I replaced this seal. If I swapped over this seal when I did the last Ranger, the 2009. Let's just use my finger, just try to pull it up without it breaking apart. Ah, darn it, there it is. Okay. It's still sticky. This seal is probably a Ford part, I bet. Didn't even think about it. I don't know if Napa would have this seal. I'm guessing Ford would. I hope they would have it separate from the fan. Maybe someone out there just sells this seal. If I can't buy a seal separate, I'm sure I could make one, but that would be kind of a hassle. Oh, it's one mosquito, tempting fate, in my attempt to bring its ultimate death. I hate mosquitoes. I absolutely hate mosquitoes. I have another video I recorded several weeks ago where I had a dragonfly land on my hand. It was on my hand about 5 minutes and then it flew away against the sliding door, tried to catch a wasp. So I learned something new that day, that dragonflies go after wasps and not just mosquitoes and other small bugs. So it must be a good predator insect if it goes after a wasp. But that dragonfly was on my hand for almost 5 minutes. I just love dragonflies. Just using my fingernail. Try to save this seal. Don't know if I'll be able to get it back on the other one and use it or not. All the news media talking about that Epstein creep dying in jail in New York. Who knows if he was murdered in jail? A lot of people, if he was murdered in jail, a lot of people could guess. You could guess. Okay, who put the hit? Who ordered this guy to be murdered? Because he knew too much. Just make a guess. Yeah, probably won't be able to reuse this seal. Oh well. Okay, this is the other part that I am going to swap over to the other motor. This basically helps get air blowing into the motor in here to cool it off so it doesn't overheat. So I remember doing this on my 2009 Ranger. Okay, there. Pull that off. Put it on this one. Shouldn't be too bad getting it in. Darn moth tried to fly right into my eye. Okay, there it's on. Pull the plug around. Run the rubber thing around the strap. So that's ready. And well, I'm assuming I'm not going to even test this one outside. It should work. Really should work. This isn't a really tough job to do. Even someone without a lot of mechanical ability could do this repair. Okay, let's get the flashlight. I'm going to shine the flashlight into this area before I put the new fan back in. I got the charger cord hooked up there. Okay, so there's a plug, part of the air conditioning. There was a wire that I unhooked. It's this wire right here. I unhooked it to get it out of the way. This is the plug for the fan itself. Let's see. Let's put the flashlight in here. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, hopefully. Oh, okay, let's take the phone out of the holder. Let's see that little thing with wires in it. That's the resistor block. The resistor something. There's the plug for it. So inside here is a resistor here. Let me get the new part out of the Napa Auto Parts box. Put the phone down. It's going to be shining up at the hood. Okay, there. So this is the Napa Eklund BR308 part. This right here is the part that goes down in here. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look all rusty. And as long as it's all working, I'm not going to replace it. I don't want to mess with this. I really don't have to unhook it, so darn, I got the camera setting on, so it's flipped over. Darn. I'm kind of short of words tonight. So this part, I'm not going to put this in. I'm not going to replace that tonight. Pull the flashlight out, but here are the notches that were cut into this when I tested the old fan. So I doubt that any much moisture is going to get in past there, but I don't know. Okay, well, let's put the new motor in. But as I said a few minutes ago, even a person with very little mechanical ability, but say a 1/4-inch drive socket set, they could fix this. They could. It's not an extremely hard repair to do. Okay, put the phone back on the mini tripod. I bought this mini tripod at Walmart a few months ago. Wanted to use it for taking videos. It works fairly well, not really well. Okay, now we got it in the holder again. This is not going to be an award-winning video. I got the positive battery cable unhooked so this fan doesn't start on me, because I got the heater selector set on full blast inside the cab of the truck right now. Okay, let's see. I gotta put the motor. Yeah, there's a certain orientation. Put this back in. Put this back in. Maybe I can move the tripod a little bit closer. Put this back in. We're at 13 minutes. Okay. Put this back in. This would be a lot harder to do when it's cold outside. Okay, let's see. Wait, is there a notch? I think there might be a notch. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, yep. Okay, right down here. Let me pull it out here. There's an alignment notch built into this housing right here. This alignment notch is right down here. Let me, right there, right where the strap is hanging down from the phone, or from the flashlight. That's the alignment knob for this housing here. So, okay. And with your right alignment, with your right alignment, this hose right here, that hose right there is in the right place, so I can plug it in. So the so that the blower motor's motor can cool itself. Okay, there's a little plug. Okay, a little, darn it. Can't tell if I got this little thing all the way in. Don't remember this on my 2009 Ranger. Okay, just keep pushing. This, just notice this. This little nib sticking out. Let me move the trouble light. Charger cord. Almost no wind tonight. Move the trouble light over here. Okay. The hose. Okay. Okay, this is the hose that blows air back to over the motor. Well, there's this little pointed, it looks like a tiny little chocolate chip thing sticking up. I have to press that back into the housing so this doesn't come off. Because if this hose comes off, this blower motor might overheat and it won't last as long. So if you're single, you don't have anyone to help you fix your Ford Ranger, I hope this helps. Trying to get that darn thing in there. Yeah, the end looks just like a chocolate chip. Kind of pointed like a volcano sticking out of the earth. There, come on. Come on. Sometimes it's the tiniest things that slow you down. At least it's August. It's August. It's August. It's not cold. It's not raining on me. It's not snowing on me, and I can do this in August with a t-shirt on and blue jeans. Okay, let's pull this strap. Darn, boy, that thing's being a bugger. Maybe get my hand in a different position. I remember years ago, long time ago. Okay, did that go in? Oh, it just went in. Okay, I felt it. It all of a sudden pushed in. Years ago, late 80s, early 90s, I was a driver working for Napa Auto Parts. And I had mechanics that would see my hands and they would admire me for my skinny, my small, fairly smallish hands with long skinny fingers. And the funny thing is every once in a while they get a request for a delivery and then they ask, well, can Boyd deliver it? And they says, okay. And I'd get there with the item they ordered, the part they ordered, and then the guy would say, oh, can you reach in there and get that wrench? And it says, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Because the mechanic had fingers and hands that were bigger and thicker than mine. Okay, there's another plastic alignment tab on this side of the housing. So there's one over here, one over there. Okay, I got my 4 screws. Let's put one of the screws back in. I didn't put the seal. I didn't reuse this seal from the back of the other one. I probably should call Napa or Ford and just probably order 2 or 3 of these seals just to have them on hand, since I own 3 of these trucks right now. I'm sure the seals probably aren't that expensive if I can buy them separate from the fan itself. Okay, grab the wrench. I think that's the, yep, that's the right size. Okay. Yeah, this is the old wrench. Just does not work well. Okay, there. Getting that lined up. See the moon between the clouds. We have kind of like, oh, those are mid-level clouds. It rained it's a little bit after midnight. It's technically now Thursday. But Tuesday, late Tuesday daytime and Tuesday evening, it rained a lot. Okay, let's see. Okay, put another screw in. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I have videos about Lyme disease. I have videos about the new bridge over the St. Croix River just south of Stillwater that opened up August 2nd of 2017. I have videos about lawn equipment. I talk about my life, probably too much. Two of my brothers have said I share too much. Excuse me. I have videos on my Toro 522XI garden tractor. Oh wait, that one's not lining up. Okay, let's loosen this up a little bit. I want to keep these screws a little bit loose. Just loosen it up a little bit. You know, these tubes are holding it on, but this way, with them loosened up, I can get everything lined up, get the last 2 screws in, and then I can tighten. Wait, I didn't plug in this. Where's the darn plug-in for this one? Oh, it's right there. Huh, wait, the other one is, okay. This is the old blower motor, and this plug is right on the motor housing. Well, the Napa blower has a pigtail, so I can just plug them in. Let's see, I still have the battery unhooked, so let's do it here. And just plug them in. Makes it a little bit simpler that way. Problem, you know, let's look how stiff that clip is. I have trouble with breaking these clips, holding things together, holding male and female plugs together. Okay, so that's plugged in. The blower motor's plugged in. I gotta put 2 more screws in. I'm a little bit dyslexic. I have PTSD. My doctor thinks I have Asperger's syndrome, a mild version of it. Okay, 2 screws on. So it's being held on. Okay, there's another screw down here. Where is it? It's right there, I think. Okay, fan. Alignment 1. Down there. Yeah, it's down there. Okay, it's on this one by the hose that's down there. Okay. Darn it. Maybe I should have waited. Putting that. Okay, I just pulled the cooling hose off. I'll have to put that on again. There's one more. There's one more screw opposite of there. Oh, it's that one over there. Okay, let's see. Oh, shit. Damn it. Sorry. I had a screw fall down. Oh, there I see it. Okay, down on the frame rail. The truck's not running. You don't want to stick your arm down front of the engine while it's running. So, okay, there. Yeah, just one more screw going in. Okay. I apologize, these videos are not edited. I don't have much to work with for video editing. I just have my iPhone 7 and the very simple editing app that they make available. I don't have anything else to work with at the moment. I don't have a home computer or laptop to edit these videos. So I just hit record, make the video, hit stop, and I post it. Let's see. Let's put an extension on. Let's see there. Oh, it's longer than I want. Let's get the stubby one. Stubby extension. My 1/4-inch drive. Can't get this darn thing apart. Okay. Should use a screwdriver to get this apart. Or just use I have AM 1540, a radio station out of, I think it's out of Northeast Iowa on. It's an overnight radio show. I think it's syndicated to several radio stations around the country, talk radio. Okay, there. It will be nice to drive this truck and have the fan working again. I ended up, yeah, that's where I cut my finger. I ended up spitting on that to clean it off. Trying not to gross anyone out. Okay. Okay, yeah, these four of these screws holding the fan housing to the plastic housing here. We're getting there. Yeah, just thinking, yeah, there might be someone out there who has a heater fan in their Ford Ranger not working at all. Might use my videos, go by my videos to do this repair themselves. I kind of learned auto repair kind of by myself. I did have an auto shop class, and I think it was my junior year in high school, and I was really, really smart in the class, but when we got out into the shop, I was just lacking confidence, and I wasn't really good at working stuff on the shop, but in my mind I was out of, I think there was 5 classes the year I had auto shop, my 11th grade year. My teacher told one of my classmates, he says that I had the highest score out of 5 classes for the end of the year auto shop. The highest score of 5 classes that year, which is, that's pretty darn good. But yeah, I graduated in '85, and I got my '79 Mustang Indy Pace car in August of '87, and I think the first thing I fixed on it is I redid the rear brakes, and it took me about a week or two because I took the drums apart and it just looked like a mess of spaghetti to me. But I finally, with a manual, I got it back together and fixed. I recommend getting a Haynes manual. They're better than the Chilton's one. Here's a Haynes manual right there. Or if you don't mind spending extra money, get both a Haynes, buy a Haynes manual first, then get a Chilton's one. There's a few subjects that the Chilton's manual is better than the Haynes manual. A few subjects, not many, but a few. Okay, now putting that hose back on. Got to get the little chocolate chip shaped thing back into the hole. Wiggle it around. Darn it. It's in one of those positions where you just, okay, there I think it's in. Just kind of slipped in. Yep, it's in. Okay. Cooler hose is in. I think I tightened all these up. Don't want to get them really tight, you know. 2 fingers here. 2 fingers here and a thumb. That's pretty tight. That's pretty tight. You don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to strip the plastic in here. It's be a big job replacing this thing here. Yep, that one's tight enough. And the last one. I think that's tight enough. Okay, so we got the motor plugged back in. Let's plug in this thing for the air conditioning. I think it lines up right there. That went on pretty good. Came off pretty easy. This is the plug for the cruise control thing that goes right here. Okay, we get this out of the way. Before I forget, I'm just going to show you the 2 new parts. The 2 new parts that I did not install in this truck. So, this is what went below. This is, they typically call these the resistor block. In my 2009 Ranger, it was the wiring harness that got really rusty right there. So this this pigtail goes on here, You know, this was a replacement for the wiring harness, but we're not putting this in tonight. Don't have to. But those parts aren't too expensive. You know, instead of, if you're not really low on money, might as well buy the extra parts, bring them home with you, so you don't have to make that extra trip. Pay cash, keep the receipt if you're desperate to get your money back. If you don't use it, just return it. Well, there's some electrical parts you can't return to auto parts places, but wow, 1:35 in the morning. Okay, AC thing plugged back in. Now, let's swing the cruise control thing back over here. It's not too bad of a repair. Sorry, I'm really talkative. But anyway, let's see. Wait, no, that goes below. There's a little notch. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little notch right here. The frame. Let me get the flashlight. Little notch here. Right here in the frame. And this thing right here goes right in that notch. Yeah, just kind of rest there. Oh, I see there's a tab. I gotta push up on the tab, because there's kind of a tab built in there. So it'll grab. Okay, let's see if I can get that to work. Anyway, the screw, the bolt that goes in the top should hold it in anyway. There are vehicles out there that are much harder to work on than a 4-cylinder Ford Ranger. I can tell you that much. But replacing a tranny and a clutch in one of these is a bear, because there's not much clearance to work with. Darn it. Doesn't want to go in all the way. Trying to wiggle it in. Yeah, there's a little, can't see it very well. It's a little indentation right in here. Maybe the brightness of my flashlight is washing out. Little indentation sticking out there. That should catch. I should be able to push it up so it holds. Just trying to do this right. I got a tiny, this is a tiny little Energizer LED flashlight. Got at Walmart for about 17 bucks. Works pretty good. I like it so far. Trying to wiggle it. Darn it. Am I bleeding again? Okay, I think it's... Okay, now put the bolt in. The top bolt basically holds the thing in. This cruise control motor. Okay, now here, grab the extension. You know, if Ford had kept making this series of Ford Ranger, people would still be buying them. Maybe not enough for them to make a profit on them. Okay, there's the harness for the cruise control. And I think I got her done. Okay, now I go and hook up the battery. And this should come right on because I have the fan set on high. Yeah, I bought this fan, about a week and a half ago, and I just put off putting it in. It's not too bad of a job to do it. But, oh, it's a job. A lot of people could do this. A lot of people, even someone that's never wrenched on a car, if they can use a socket set and be careful, they can do it. Okay, let's hook up the positive on the battery post. Yep. Oh, listen to that. Let me go in the truck. Yep. Oh, wow. So nice to have that. Now I can go on deliveries, and if it's raining, I got defrost, I got heat. Well, my apologies to anybody who thought my videos are too long. I'm sorry, I don't have an editing program, or I don't have a very flexible editing program to work with. So, but there I did it. Got my new heater fan installed. I think this one with the cage on at Napa was about $74 plus tax. So the old one went out at 148,000 miles. Funny, I haven't had to replace the heater in this fan in my 2004 Ranger. That truck has 134,000 miles. This truck has 148,000. My 2009 Ranger has 112,000 miles on it, and I parked it summer of 2018 after I got this truck, got the brakes fixed on it. But okay, well, I thank you for watching my videos, and I hope these videos were helpful for replacing the heater fan in your Ford Ranger. Might be a very, very similar repair to do on like some Ford Explorers or some other Ford vehicles. Might be very, very similar in this corner of the vehicle. Those might even use the same fan as this Ford Ranger does. But okay, well, thanks for watching. See you later.